Hello and welcome to Demian Allan's Astrology channel, and welcome to April 2024. What to look out for, what planets are dominating, what zodiac signs are going to be affected. Stay tuned. We're going to be looking at all of the 12 zodiac signs and how they're affected for the coming April 2024, from Aries to Pisces. We're going to look at a bit of an overview first of all. And this is a major month of change that is going to occur. One of the biggest months of the year, so stay tuned. Now, if you do like the video, press the like button and please become a subscriber. It all helps to spread the good word of astrology. Okay, so let's begin. So April 2024, very big month, lots going on. What are some of the things to look out for? Well, the first one is going to be we have a total solar eclipse on the 8th of April, and that is going to be at 19 degrees in Aries, particularly affecting those born under Aries, Libra, Cancer and Capricorn, and particularly in those signs of zodiac if you've got any planets around about 19 degrees, 18, 19 and 20 degrees of Aries, Cancer, Libra and Capricorn, then you're deeply affected by this. It's a solar eclipse. It's a new energy. It's in Aries. It's about courage of your convictions. It's about staying true to yourself. It's about, to dare to do, to be bold, to go to explore, to grab the world and shake it around so you're getting something out of it. It's an energy that is awe-inspiring. And it really kicks the astrological wheel of the year into gear. It's such a strong energy, and it's a solar eclipse, so it lasts for about 6 to 9 months, and it brings in a whole different dynamic. However, there's other factors to bring into the mix that are going to make things a little bit uncomfortable, and that is the fact that we've also got a Mercury retrograde from the 1st of April, in Aries till around about the 26th, 27th. So although we've got this solar eclipse energy that is, bringing a renewal, and that's the word I would use for this solar eclipse, renewal, we've also got that energy of the Mercury going retrograde, which I've done a video on my channel separately from this, which is kind of, stop and start kind of energy. So although there is this kind of sense of being broad-minded and looking ahead and that kind of energy for all of us, really, there is also a kind of, we can't make the decisions as quickly as we'd like. So it's a little bit of a conflict going on there. In other astrological news, we've got a conjunction on the 21st of April between Jupiter and Uranus, 21 degrees, sort of 55 minutes in Taurus. Now, this doesn't happen often, and we've got the expansive quality of Jupiter, and we've got the rebellious energy of Uranus together in the fixed earth sign of Taurus. So this is interesting about what this is going to bring, because for a lot of the time that Uranus and Jupiter has been in Taurus, which is from May last year, has it delivered? Well, I would say probably not. Because those two planets in Taurus they don't have natural affinity with Taurus, Jupiter, and Uranus. They can't operate and do what they need to do in order to get things moving. So it is volcanic, I think, would be the best word to use in relation to that period of around about the 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. 22nd of April. Expect huge changes from an economic, political, cultural aspect, and a few surprises to come out here that are going to make a massive impact on the world at large. This is very, very tense. And expect quite a few changes, particularly in April, with the people at the top, or the leaders and the people making the decisions. I think there'll be a few people that might have to step down or certainly step back from the roles. It's that powerful. Jupiter and Uranus are two planets that, they do complement each other in a certain way, but it's expansiveness from tearing down the old structures. So I think that's what you've got here, kind of quite a revolutionary energy that's coming about from this. And if you've got planets at the 21 degree mark in Taurus, Leo, Scorpio or Aquarius, then you're particularly hit by this energy. So it's a very different month to the March, and it's a big month, lots of changes. Okay, so let's go into looking at each sun sign. And as I do these, looking at the 12 individual signs, this is for the sun sign and the rising sign. So I'm about to do Aries. So if you've got an Aries sun, but you've got a Taurus rising, then look at both, listen to both, because they'll be both relevant for you. Okay, so this is for Aries, sun sign and rising sign. So it's a big month for Aries. It's a huge month. There is a lot of change in the air, and that will be good news for Aries. You do have Mercury retrograde in your own sign to contend with, and that happens really kind of at the end of Aries. So if you're a late degree Aries person, then you're going to be quite affected by that particular energy. Also, from around about the 4th, 5th of April, you've got Venus entering into your own sign. Venus is not that comfortable in Aries, but it does kind of add a little bit things easier to the mix in terms of the Mercury retrograde. But the big news, of course, is the 8th. The 8th is a total solar eclipse at 19 degrees in your own sign. Huge sweeping changes coming in for you, a kind of a vision of the future, where you want to go, what you want to do. It's great for launching new projects, businesses, relationships at that time, hugely kind of important. And also on the 21st of April, you've got the conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus falling into your second house, the second house of personal finance and your self-value. So this is hugely important in terms of, again, businesses, the way that you earn your money, and a few surprises during that late April to come about. What have you got to look out for? The middle of April. That means from around about the 10th to 20th, particularly because your ruler, Mars, is in Pisces and it's going to make a conjunction with Saturn. So expect restrictions or things to slow down. It's a funny month for you, Aries. You'll feel like you've got this sort of pioneering spirit, but you can't do much of it. I'm afraid it's going to be a patience game for you, and keeping that patience and keeping the focus of the ideas that you had around about the 8th of April. Okay, Taurus. So Taurus, big month for you. A lot of planets, the Sun, Venus and Mercury are all in your solar 12th house. This is the house of self-care. This is the house of taking oneself out of the world. Meditation practice, spiritual practices being really kind of important at this particular time. Self-reflection, looking after one's mental health, keeping your internal rhythms in terms of your routines being very, very important. But we do have this conjunction falling your first house between Jupiter and Uranus on the 21st. And the build up to that is going to be huge in the potential of what could manifest from that. Look out for an unpredictable awakening of value systems, of lifestyle, of changes that you want to implement for the rest of the year that are far removed from where you've been going and what you've been doing over the last year. This is a marked point where everything that's happened over the last year comes into a culmination point of, right, okay, well, how do I use this effectively to build something for the future? And I use the word build because that's what's important to Taurus. It's got to be tangible. It's got to be something they can build upon and use. But it's also got to be about a lifestyle and awakening new values in yourself and discarding old ones that no longer serve your purpose. Huge, huge month for you. Okay, Geminis. Well, listen, your ruler is Mercury, and Mercury is retrograde in Aries, and that's circulating in your 11th house, which is the house of the collective, groups, friendships, sometimes the money that you earn from an employer. So therefore, expect delays or time out from those themes in your life. I think that also you've got Venus in that 11th house as well. And the conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus is in your 12th house. So new spiritual insights, a new sense of the gateway between two worlds being important to you. That could be in the dream world and journaling and making written forms about your dreams and the subconscious and stuff like that. But it also means that you're able to pinpoint your true motivations as for doing things and not getting caught up by other people's expectations and opinions of what you should do and what you shouldn't. Very, very important energy here, and hugely liberating for you. But you've got to contend with that Mercury retrograde, and that's going to slow things down a little bit for you. You've also got Mars squaring you in Pisces, which is coming in from the 10th house, which is the house of your career, which basically means that stuff in your career and your aspirations are slowed down or delays, expect delays. But don't worry, as we go into May, things begin to move forward for you. Okay, Cancer. Well, listen, Cancerians, anything to do with the luminaries, the sun and the moon, is going to be important. So the 8th of April is important to you. This solar eclipse is going to be squaring your sun sign, and you know it's going to be in the 10th house. So this is a new beginning in terms of the career, in terms of how you want to be seen by the public and how the public see you. Expect something around that time that's going to come out that's going to change the way that you are seen in your work. And if you're self-employed, you may want to project yourself in a completely different way to what you've done before. So there's a different energy, a different temperament in terms of how you are instigating change within your career. So hugely important. The Jupiter Uranus conjunction falls in the 11th house, which is friendships, connections, networking. Great for networking around about the 21st of April. Great for making connections that are going to further your career and your aspirations for the future. This is really, really good. You've got also Mars supporting you in another water sign like yourself in Pisces that's helping you. So all of these kind of stuff is really bringing about a lot of good kind of things and free-flowing energy here. The only thing I'd say is the Mercury retrograde, of course, is in your 10th house, which kind of slows things down in terms of career. You just got to watch out for that. Okay, let me have a drink of water. Leo. Okay, Leos. Still get used to Pluto? It's okay. Pluto's starting to settle a little bit more in your opposite sign of Aquarius. However, there is a lot that is going on here. First of all, the conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus is hugely important, because that, of course, is falling into your 10th house. Now, this is the seeds of change, but this is very external manifestation of things beginning to change at a dramatic pace for you. And I think that, you know, this is the most unpredictable time in terms of your career. If you're in a job that you're not satisfied with, just be careful, because you might want to leave at that time. I'm not suggesting that's the thing to do. I'm suggesting you might want to. There is a restlessness. There is a wanting to break down the traditions, not wanting to be imposed on by other people's opinions or ways of life. That restlessness needs an outlet. That means it needs things to be changed in the way that you do your lifestyle or how you're seen. This is the time actually to look ahead and go, okay, what do I want to get out of life? What do I want to do here? How do I make that kind of changes that come in here? But as I said, it's unpredictable energy. So there could be something of fireworks during that time that come about for you. Couple that with Pluto in your seventh house, then you've got a lot that's going on for you. And, Leos are now firmly in the spotlight astrologically for some time now, and this conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus in the 10th is really kind of making things happen a lot. And look out for the changes. You've also got the solar eclipse. Now that's placed in your 9th house. This might be new starts with education and training that could start to really come about and externalize itself during April. Okay, Virgo. Virgo, your opposite sign, Pisces, has got Saturn. Well, it's had Saturn there since March 2023, but it's also got Mars there. And the 7th house is the house of other people and relationships and how people view you and how you view them and the response and the dance between two people. When you've got Mars in the 7th house, which is not very comfortable in the 7th house, then you've got an energy of trying to figure out other people's temper and other people's bugbears and how to respond to that. Look out for projection from others, people's anger onto you here. You've also got the Mercury retrograde, which is, of course, your ruler. So therefore, it kind of doubles as a bit of a misunderstanding that takes place here and makes it a little bit more difficult. So there's a challenge here. The Jupiter Uranus conjunction falls in your 9th solar house, which is the house of education, travel, and stuff like that. So this is good for those kind of matters. And the solar eclipse is in your 8th house, which is other people's resources, other people's money, investment, stuff like that. So there's a funny month of trying to. You'll feel like you're walking on a tightrope most of this month. Trying to sort of dive out of the way of other people's opinions and other people's projections while trying to gain some kind of equilibrium with your own life, but you've got the Mercury retrograde to contend with. A lot of that will be focused on, as I said, other people's money or investments or people investing in you at that time and delays. So expect that. Okay, let's move on to Libra. So your opposite sign, of course, is Aries, Libran, or Libra rising, and therefore a lot of that energy of the solar eclipse on the 8th is falling in your 7th house, as well as Mercury retrograde and Venus as well as in your 7th house. So it's a lot to do with other people. Well, Libran is the sign of partnership, and it likes to be with other people, and it likes to play the diplomat sometimes, not all the time. But the main thing is that there's a lot of the planetary activity in the 7th house, and therefore you could expect a lot of activity this month to be circulating in, other people, what they bring to you in your life during this month and what you can do for them. So you're working totally on a polarity point in between that stage. And that's kind of always worth kind of looking at, because it means that other people are the driving force as to what happens for the month ahead. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio, the 7th house is incredibly important because of that conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus at 21 degrees, falling in your 7th house. So expect surprises, things unexpected to do with partnerships and other people that are in your life. Expect there to be a lot of changes around that time. Expect there to be new value systems, new awakenings that are going to come in and change the dynamics of that partnership and how you deal with people. So much so. You've also got a lot of activity in your solar 6th house, which is your working environment, service to others, health matters. So expect a lot of energy to be directed towards those themes for you, but expect change, expect unexpected things to happen for you, and that you never kind of expected. Big month for the Scorpios. Okay, let's move on to Sagittarius here. Sagittarius, well, Jupiter is your ruler. Jupiter, of course, is making a conjunction with Uranus. This brings out a whole lot of change, but it's in your 6th house, which is your working environment, health matters, service to others. So this conjunction really falls in that house. That's where a lot of the energy and the unpredictableness is going to occur here. Be careful what you say. Saggies have a bit of a time of kind of saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, but it's the right thing, if that makes sense. So just be kind of careful in your working environment. Don't stir the pot or try and create kind of huge amounts of changes or try and get the truth out. I'd stand back a little bit here for that. And I think that's been, for the majority of the last year, that's been how it's been in working environments. You've had to not say as much as you would like or normally say. Okay, let's go on to Capricorn. Capricorn, your planet ruler is, of course, Saturn. That's still in Pisces. You've also got Mars in Pisces as well. This is all in the third house of communication. But that Jupiter conjunction with Uranus on the 21st is placed, in your fifth house, which is the house of creativity, self-expression, the individual. And so you could expect changes to do with creativity. You could expect changes to do with how you communicate with others, how you relate to others, how you play in life coming about here, and a new value system. It could be a new hobby. It could be a new way of looking at life. It could be a new lifestyle change that affects you quite deeply and makes you look at your world in a completely different way to what you've done previously. So there's a huge amount of changes that take place there. The Mercury also retrograde is happening in your fourth house, which is the house of the home. So expect maybe delays to do with family or home aspects, just delayed slightly. Okay, Aquarius, big news. Your modern ruler is Uranus. It's making a conjunction with Jupiter in your fourth house. Expect changes to happen around the home environment, the family, your internal structure, what makes you feel secure, what doesn't make you feel secure. It's an awakening of completely different values to do with that, and how you see your inner world, that ultimately, once that changes, it changes the outer world. This is huge. What you wanted in life may change. Your values and what makes you feel secure may change. This could include the aspects of wanting to travel more, wanting to be much more bold, and feeling less insecure as a person. Huge changes for Aquarius. And finally, Pisces. Well, listen, Pisces, you've got Mars in your own sign of the zodiac. So, I like kind of Mars in Pisces generally, but I feel like, what Mars can do is it can be assertive, it could be direct, and Pisces likes to be kind of changeable and look at different sides and that mutable energy. So Mars is trying to concentrate in you being a bit more direct and making decisions and sticking by them, essentially. That's what it's saying. You've also got Saturn in there. You've had Saturn there for a year in the middle part. So again, in the middle of the month, the conjunction between Mars and Saturn is occurring, forcing you to stick to decisions, forcing you to plant for the future and not be so changeable. Those two planets are trying to get you to do that. Whether you do it or not is up to you, but that's what it's trying to get you to do, to put structure within your own wants and desires and to not be too changeable. And I think the middle of this month, you kind of have to make some big decisions and go, right, okay, I got to stick with this. That's what I feel is going to happen. Now, listen, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Press the like button, please subscribe, and I enjoy your month ahead, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Thank you very much for watching.